The velvet worm doesn't look like much at first glance, just a squishy little creature crawling through moist logs and leaves. But don't be fooled. This oddball has been around for over 500 million years. That's older than dinosaurs, older than trees, and way older than your grandma's cookie recipe. Velvet worms belong to a phylum called Onychophora. They're soft-bodied, slow-moving, and covered in a velvety skin that gives them their name. But they're not worms, and they're not insects either. They're a kind of evolutionary bridge, a peek into what life looked like before creatures split into more modern categories. Think of them as the living blueprint of early land animals. Back in the Cambrian period, ancestors of the velvet worm roamed shallow oceans. Today, their descendants live in tropical forests, hiding under logs and rocks. Despite the passage of time, velvet worms have remained largely unchanged. Scientists even call them living fossils. So why fix what isn't broken? Maybe because they were designed with one heck of a trick up their sleeve. Here's where things get wild. Velvet worms may look like sleepy sausages, but when it's hunting time, they turn into slime-shooting assassins. Imagine this: a cricket scurries by. The velvet worm lies in wait. With a sudden twitch of its head, it shoots twin jets of sticky slime from glands just below its antennae, like a glue gun on steroids. The goo hardens almost instantly, trapping the prey in place. Then, the worm slowly walks over, bites it, injects digestive juices, and slurps up the liquefied insides. Gross. A little. But also ingenious. The slime is not only sticky, it's reusable. The velvet worm can actually eat its own slime afterward to recycle the proteins. That's next-level sustainability. This bizarre attack strategy has fascinated scientists for decades. It's like something out of a comic book, imagine Spider-Man, but slower and gooier. And here's the best part: they can shoot with surprising accuracy, despite their squishy, jellybean-like appearance. You might think something this soft would be a snack in the food chain. But velvet worms survive just fine with their unique body plan. They move using short, stubby legs called lobopods. Think of them as tiny inflatable tubes that help the worm glide over moss and leaf litter. Their body is covered in a velvet-like texture made of tiny papillae, which gives them a soft, plush look but also helps retain moisture. Inside, their anatomy is just as unusual. They have a hydrostatic skeleton, no bones, just pressurized fluid keeping their shape. Their nervous system is decentralized, and their circulatory system is open. In short, nothing in a velvet worm works the way you'd expect. Even their reproduction is full of surprises. Some velvet worms lay eggs, but many give live birth, with the young crawling out of a birth sac, ready to hunt. In some species, males offer females a sperm package by stabbing it directly into their skin, where it dissolves and travels through the body to fertilize eggs. Romantic? Maybe not. Efficient? Absolutely. Velvet worms are rare. Most people will go their whole lives without seeing one in the wild. They live in the dampest, most undisturbed corners of forests across Central and South America, Africa, Southeast Asia, and Oceania, particularly in New Zealand and Australia. But because they need moist, cool habitats, they're especially vulnerable to climate change, deforestation, and urban development. Some species are now critically endangered. Their slow reproduction and small ranges make them easy to wipe out. Even slight habitat changes, like removing a fallen log, can erase an entire population. And yet, despite their rarity, they're crucial for science. Their evolutionary importance, unique anatomy, and biological weapons make them priceless. That's why researchers and conservationists are pushing to study and protect these creatures before it's too late. Velvet worms may not roar or sting or fly, but they represent something older and stranger than almost anything else crawling around today. Okay, So they're cute, gooey, and fire slime like little forest ninjas, but why should we care? Because velvet worms are a living reminder of life's ancient pathways. They show us how creatures adapt over eons, and how small tweaks, like slime jets, can create evolutionary success. They're also proof that you don't need claws, fangs, or venom to be an effective predator. Sometimes, slow and sticky wins the race. For scientists, they offer incredible insight into evolution, reproduction, and biomechanics. For the rest of us, they're just really, really cool. The velvet worm invites us to stay curious. To look closely at the forest floor. To remember that nature's weirdest creatures are often the most important, and that every slimy underdog has its place in the story of life. So next time you're out in the woods, pause before stepping on that log. Who knows? You might meet a creature older than the dinosaurs, with a built-in slime cannon. Let us know in the comments, would you want a slime cannon if you could have one? What's the weirdest animal you've ever heard of? If this tiny forest ninja made you smile or squirm, give us a thumbs up, share it with your fellow nature lovers, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing tales from the animal kingdom. Until next time, stay curious, and keep exploring.